Hey guys, still there. Welcome back to Victory at Sea Pacific. First off, I am new to this game. I'm going to repeat this again, as some people simply do not seem to understand that I'm still learning the damn game. Besides that, the game isn't finished yet. They're still working on it. I believe that the Japanese campaign is going to be introduced later. Don't ask me when. I don't know about that. And I will be making mistakes throughout this playthrough, throughout this episode probably. Stuff that you think, oh my god, what are you doing? If so, please point it out. Comments that are just sheerly critical, like, oh my god, noob, learn to play, they're not helpful. I try to get better at this game, but it has a lot of depth, it has a lot of options, and a lot of mechanics that I'm not exactly familiar with. This happens when you learn a game, and it's just gonna continue to be that way. Probably the next season, playthrough, whatever you want to call it, will be better. But for now, this is what you're going to have to live with. If you cannot, then please look for other channels which are better at the game. Jive Turkey, I know, is doing a playthrough, or at least I believe he's doing a playthrough. And he, I believe, is very skilled at this game. So if you're looking for a pro to play this game, look there. Otherwise, please enjoy this video. Now, I am a little concerned because something happened between the last episode and when I loaded this save. And that is that for some reason, somehow, the Enterprise is gone. I have no idea where she went. I don't believe she sunk. At the end of the previous episode, the date was March 31st, 1942. I'm looking at it here. The time was 22:41. The time is now 22:42. It's literally 1 minute later. And all of a sudden, Task Force 8 with the Enterprise is no longer with us. I'm not sure if somehow the battle cruiser here got it. I believe that's the Congo. Or that we ran into some sort of bug, but somehow the Enterprise is gone. I tried reloading the game. It's just dead. Period. The carrier's gone, and that sucks. So, yeah, the game's clearly not finished. They're still working at it, and I hope that stuff like this is not going to persist, because I rather liked the Enterprise and all that she did in the attack at Wake Island, as well as capturing the Marshall Islands with her whole task force. So now the Enterprise and all accompanying ships, including the cruisers that I lost in the previous episode, are gone. Which means that building additional ships is going to be even more important. Now, at Pearl I was building, I believe, another cruiser. Let's have a look. Yeah, an Atlantic-class cruiser. Do I want to upgrade that? Yeah, advanced radar, I recently learned, is going to help with the capacity to spot stuff from afar. And that is very valuable. Task Force 1, 18, and 19 are still on the way back to Pearl. JOHNSTON is still a major risk. I really don't have a lot here. A couple of planes, they're out of fuel. I do believe that I have enough. I have enough aviation fuel. This is for shipboard aircraft. So there should be enough for these guys to go out again, but they all claim to be out of fuel. Not exactly sure what the game expects me to do about that, per se. I mean, I can build a few more aircraft and try to go after the carriers here, but I don't think that the fighters are going to take kindly to that. So instead, let's get a couple of fighter squadrons built first. I can swap those to the runway, I think, but according to the game, there's nothing on the runway. So I'm not exactly sure what the game expects me to do here. Runway, nothing. Okay. Now, my priority at the moment is to recon Tulagi, and I already have Task Force 14 consisting of one submarine, namely Hammerhead, on the way. They're going to be scouting out Tulagi. Other than that... Sorry, you're going for Guadalcanal, aren't you? Just scout out Tulagi instead. And then Guadalcanal. With that, I hope to get a few more war bonds. In the meanwhile, let's look at buying some more ships, or at least starting construction on those. The ports that I have right now, San Diego is working on a carrier and a cruiser. Mary Island, let's have a look. It's another carrier that's being built. Puget Sound also has a carrier. So I should have a good number of carriers soon. But I do not have the escorting ships yet, the destroyers. Now, let's have a look at what sort of ships I can build, because that has improved significantly since the last time I looked at this stuff. What I can build are the Lexis and the Yorktowns. What's the difference here? These have torpedo belts. These also have torpedo belts. Speed 32 knots, range 12,000 nautical miles, 10,000 nautical miles. Displacement 36 tons. Displacement almost 20 tons. So you're far larger. Also more heavily armored. And they can output more damage? How do you see that happening? They have 5 dive bombers, 6 torpedoes, and 9 fighters. 7, 7, 10. Huh. It's going to take me 87 days to build one of these behemoths. So let's queue up one of those. Does Pearl have anything else I can build quickly? Oh, by the way, I checked as I was running my off-screen game, and apparently if you get a T2 class oil tanker, it is just going to create a new convoy. It is not actually something that I can attach to my own fleet. Now, what do I need at the moment? I'd say if those carriers are going to be rolling off of these shipyard lines, well, I was going to say assembly lines, but when they're being produced by the shipyards, they will need escorts. So, let's start creating some escorts. I'll have a Porter Destroyer Leader that I can upgrade to Advanced Raider and Sub Hunter for 25 war bonds. Yeah, let's do that. I'll have another Gridley there. Puget Sound. Same if I can afford it. Can I upgrade both? 20, 25? Yeah, I can. Okay, go. It's going to take a bit of time. Now, in the meanwhile, what I was doing was sending Task Force 20 to go and either scout out Midway or potentially even take it over. I have a cruiser on the way. Back here? Yeah, Task Force 25 is going to head towards the Aleutians. This is Attu Island. I want to try and bolster defenses here a little bit. At the moment, there seems to be no threat. This is a cruiser. What was it again? An Atlanta? Yeah, an Atlanta-class cruiser. If they do attack with a bunch of destroyers there, and they might, then I hope that the Atlanta is capable of holding off the enemy for the moment. Alright, let's speed things up. I don't really have any offensive ops planned for the moment. It's mostly just trying to repair the assets that I have and have TF-20 move out towards Midway. Task Force 14. Oh, it's the Hammerhead. Hammerhead, you seem unhappy. Minus 10% crew efficiency. Focus on boosting morale. You have food for more than a year. This is somebody who pointed this out in the comments. These ships have a lot of rations. Way more than I'd need. So I can say, well, I want you to have, let's say, 0.14 morale per day. So that's 229 days of rations. That should be enough to at least start boosting their morale for a bit. Task Force 20 is heading south. That's the Sacramento, heading towards Hawaii. 25 is heading north. 1 is coming home. Ah, right, yes, that's Saratoga. Saratoga had lost most of its strike wing. Okay. How are war bonds doing? Income 370 per month. How is the airport and port doing here? Being repaired. Task Force 27 has been created. That's the rally. Atlantic-class cruiser. Okay, where do I want to have Task Force 27? What do we have at Pearl? Task Force 23. I want you to go join 27. Task Force 26. No, we're going to have to wait for the other ships to join here. I want all of you in the same squadron. What I could do, since they're not actually doing anything else, set up a patrol route. That should get them something to do. What are your intentions? This fleet seems to be following that fleet. I'm still quite concerned about what all these carriers are up to. See, there's no damage here, so I don't quite get why, at the moment, I cannot swap the aircraft. It says swapping, but for what? Let's see, Task Force 2-4 is ready. Ah, the Indy has been refueled. The DDs? Not so much, because the Indy apparently took the fuel that I was hoping to put on the DDs. Refuel. Okay, so you refuel Task Force 13. And yeah, that seems to have reduced fuel in the Indy a little bit. I believe there was a convoy heading towards the Marshalls. Which one again? Yeah, you. There's one oil tanker, a bunch of destroyers, and 10 cargo ships heading towards Marshall Island. They are going to have an interesting trip if they ever encounter these carriers. Okay, their standard fuel is aviation fuel. Yes, we don't have any bombs anymore, but you're just a spotter aircraft. Can I look into this area? Ah, we recon Tulagi. Good. Land on Tulagi and establish a base. That's a bit unlikely at the moment. Let's see, this is Pearl, we have Task Force 13. Ah, right, that's the new escorting group. That's the destroyers. 3 destroyers. Wait, what? Task Force 18. I don't get it. We have 3 destroyers at Pearl? Like, which? Where's that JOHNSTON? Yeah, I was looking at JOHNSTON. So this transfers it back and forth to Pearl Harbor. Why am I looking at Pearl Harbor if I want to be looking at... Yeah, it says Task Force 13. I don't get this. You're at the Marshall Islands. Oh, hang on. This could be good. If I can transfer some of the fuel from the other ships... which one was that again? Task Force 24, I think? Task Force 8 fleet lost April 1st, 1942. Weird. I still do not recall losing the Enterprise. Task Force 28. It's the Aurora. I'm looking for the JOHNSTON, actually. Or was it the Indy? It might have been the Indy. Yeah, Task Force 24 is docked at the Marshall Islands. So why can I not transfer anything? See, I'm still learning the game. I guarantee you that in, if I'm still playing this game, in maybe a year's time, I will probably have learned a good deal more about the game. But until then, this is what we're stuck with. Hold on, is that their effective range by now, or...? So what does that make your effective range? Ah, so you can range, or you can reach everything. Boise. Task Force 24. That's the DDs. No, that's the Indy. I'll get this right eventually. Task Force 13. So 13 cannot reach very far, but it can reach enough for the moment. Alright, San Diego, Aurora. Which one were you again? Atlanta class? Yeah, Atlanta class. Okay. San Diego. Task 28. Move to Pearl. Just standard move. TF-19 is being repaired. Good. Are they already docked? Yes, they're docked. Good. Now, let me try to figure this out. Pearl Harbor. Yep, here we go. I can upgrade the Lexington for 115 war bonds, and I can upgrade the Portland as well. Let's do that. Upgraded. Perfect. So I'm glad that these two ships survived. I can actually have them join together. Yep. The lead ship is going to be Lexington, and I still want you guys to focus on repairs first. The morale is neutral. They are being repaired. No idea how long that's going to take. Focus on morale for now. More morale means more effectiveness. 400 days of ration seems a bit tall. Let's go to 270 and go to 260. There we go. Plus 0.1 morale. Oh, you're already at 100% morale. You, not so much. Minus 10% crew efficiency. TF-13, yeah, okay, good. Speed up. Task 24 is the Indy. Let's merge these guys back together. Task Force 14, Indispensable Strait. Okay, so we scouted out both these places, but I do not feel comfortable sending this sub out to do anything else. It has the range though. Scout out over here. Who knows what we're going to find? Ah, 3 battleships. Oh joy. And your intended destination is moving closer to Hawaii. Oh, fuck me. I can see that going to be a problem. From Pearl. I want to try and scout out the area here. Do we still have a Catalina? Yeah. Okay, scout out these carriers. I need to know where they are. And potentially if they're in range of an airstrike from Pearl Harbor yet. Tell me that. There. That's the 2 carriers. And there's the other boy, the other boys, the other group. This would probably be a good time to return to base. Now, Pearl, how long range are your Dauntlesses? Not good enough. I could send out a bunch of Catalinas. They definitely have the range, but I'm not sure if they're capable of penetrating the enemy air defenses. I'm assuming not. Okay, Task Force 1's almost back at Pearl. Yep, no orders. I want you to repair and resupply. Done, resupplying. Good. Now I can upgrade those ships as well, if I have the resources for that. Pearl. Especially the Saratoga. Additional AA. I have 39 war bonds. I can upgrade the Concorde. What are you exactly? Task Force 1, Concorde. I can upgrade the battleships as well. Ah, it's a light cruiser. How expensive is it to upgrade the battleships? If at all possible. It's going to give me a little bit of AA. Sub-hunter, radar. I'll take any AA I can get. There. Okay, so this fleet, Task Force 1, is good to go. Task Force 18 is still being repaired. I want to have these guys come a little closer. Don't tell me you're patrolling off of this place. 27. Ah, 27's on patrol. My bad. Screw it, I can always get more aircraft. Let's send out a flight of Catalina torpedo bombers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That'll do. Engage. I wonder how effective these Catalinas are going to be. Let's find out. Because if I can sink all of that, that would be a massive result. That would really help with trying to take back Midway. Which, by the way, Task Force 20 is starting to close on. So that's good news. I want to have a look at this flight. I wonder how these Catalinas are working together, if at all. Catalina... No? Yes? One torpedo bomber flight. And the other ones just seem to be off doing their own thing. Yeah, so while it is technically one flight, they're pretty much all individual aircraft. Attack. Oh, we have a last known position. We don't know where they are. So that's where the aircraft are turning around. Task Force 14 has been attacked by enemy aircraft. Oh. That's the sub. It looks like they're not going to be doing too well. Okay, Pearl. I want to look at this flight. They need to scout out the enemy first. And then attack it. Come on. Where are they? Are we gonna be dead overhead soon? Like right on top of them? Oh, we're at 9. Ah! Holy shit, we found them. If you haven't already, this would be a good time to attack. And the fighters are right on top of them. Can we have a look? How many do you carry? We have a payload. It doesn't say exactly how many torps that encompasses. Not exactly sure. Contact. Kagero. Hear you. That's the one that I want to hit. Hear you. I'll let the AI handle this one and see if this is going to pan out. There's the Zuikaku. I imagine that this is not going to work. So I'm considering this mostly an experiment to see exactly if this plane can get this job done. If not, then that's educational. There we go, he's already under attack. Yeah, that was to be expected. The Zeros are easily taking out these Catalinas. Again, as expected. Okay, I want this whole flight to return to base. Because this is not going to work. But I might keep one on station here. Just to keep an eye on that fleet. Hang on. You guys are all coming after me, aren't you? If I can bait you guys in, that could be an opportunity for my fighters. Unfortunately, they are... yeah, they're not coming close enough. Okay. Look at that. This is the rally. I can have all of these things switched to AA fire. That's the Atlanta. Okay, you're at Pearl. 14 is attacked. That's the sub. They've been lost. Well, to be fair, the sub served its purpose. Okay, Midway's being scouted. I want you to take it over. Amphib assault that thing. I need Midway back. Convoy is still on the way to Marshall. Oh, actually, there's 2 convoys on the way to Marshall Islands. Okay. Good. Darwin? Ah. Yeah. Insofar as you guys can, I want you to patrol this place. There's Mary Island. It's a destroyer leader and a destroyer. Mary Islands could be producing another ship for me. Let's get another Gridley built. This was 2-9er. Yeah, that's those 2. TF1 is ready. 1 battleship, 3 destroyers. Actually 4 destroyers. A heavy cruiser. Let's reorganize this group a little. If I'm going to have the heavy cruiser and the Pennsylvania... no, you're not the lead ship, you are. I want you guys to go together. I want the heavy cruiser with the actual attack group, with the Able Squadron. I want the Litchfield to go here. The Concorde over there. Nicholson, Hovey, there. Now, if I engage, I'm going to have 1 battleship, 2 heavy cruisers and a light cruiser. And this one... oh, hold on, what sort of light cruiser was the Concorde? Because I was hoping this would be an AA cruiser, but it's not. It's an Omaha class light cruiser. Oh. How good are you at AA? 6 kilometers out. I could have Task Force 1 link up with Task Force 27. That would give me another ship, or another 3 ships. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Merge these fleets. I'm going to try and intercept these guys, as they seem to be heading in different directions. You're going for JOHNSTON. I suppose that's fair. Because JOHNSTON is just screwed. Task Force 1, I want you to move here. Task Force 27. Redirect. 20 has been attacked. What the hell's 20? Ah, right. Hold on. Did we just lose a battleship? We just lost a battleship, I think. Can you confirm? Midway has been fully surveyed. Are they just under attack? I forgot if I had 2 battleships in Task Force 20 or 3. I think it's 2, and I think the Tennessee just took a light beating. Other than that, possibly not even anything else. Okay. You guys start heading to Pearl. Pearl's the whole rendezvous point. 18. Oh, the Portland's ready to go. Oh, that's good. I can have the Portland as potentially a separate entity. There. You're going to be joining with Task Force 1. Yep. That means that the Lexington at the moment is still being repaired. That's going to take a while. But Task Force 1 can use all the ships she can get. I'll keep the cruiser with the carrier. That's 2-6. Sacramento. You need a bit of rationing? Is that it? You're being repaired? No, you're being resupplied. You need fuel, don't you? Fuel's looking good. Yep, Sacramento. Perfect. Sacramento, join Task Force 1. Task Force 1's gonna have a nice bit of firepower. Okay, Task Force 20 is engaging. Going to continue to do damage to Midway. And then amphibious assault it. So hopefully take it over. 2-7. 20's been attacked again. Darwin's been occupied. We're still doing 12 knots. Hold on. There is still a ship here, which is really, really slow, and I doubt it's the battleship. 28 knots, 28, 35, 33, 38. What if I detach the Pennsylvania? Because it is an older ship, and it might be slowing everybody down. Yeah, I would like to separate that thing. One time it works, one time it doesn't. Come on, Pennsylvania. It just needs to get a button, this game, that says Leave Fleet. Or Separate from Fleet. They need to take a hint from Stellaris. That does a really good job at just fleet management. Come on. Pennsylvania does not really seem to want to get detached from this fleet at all. You guys doing alright? No, Aurora's taking some damage. We switch the Aurora to full AA. I'm not sure if it's already set to AA, but just to be sure, let's switch Task Force 20 to AA duties. Advanced radar, but we're not using it? 25% chance to detect ships, there we go. How's your AA? Here, AA magazine. 5% reload speed, 25% reload speed. Fire control, local AA. 17% chance to hit. Okay, Tennessee. What do I need from you? I'd say a bit more AA. Same goes for the Maryland. Increase AA to full. Okay, that might help keep the enemy off of these battleships for a bit. Now, back to Task Force 1. God, Pennsylvania, just leave already. Take a hint. Just start your own fleet, damn it. Oh, this is annoying. I think that the Pennsylvania is slowing everything down. Is there any way to increase speed on the Pennsylvania? Maybe engineering? No, engines. Plus 0.11 knots. Oh joy. 1 knot extra. Let's increase your rationale a bit, or your rations a bit. Does anybody have some sort of debuff to their speed? Could that be it? It's not this thing. Everybody has an equal or even crew distribution, so they should be fine. I don't get it. This is another one of those things that either is bugged or that the game does not give me enough information about. Task Force 1, move at best speed. So now we're doing 19 knots. I think it might have been the Pennsylvania that was the problem. You're the lead ship for that squadron. Go. Okay, by now we have lost this carrier's position. Are you still outside of range? Yeah, you're still outside of range. Okay. Johnston Atoll Defense Force. Yeah, that was to be expected. Being attacked by 3 destroyers, 1 heavy cruiser and a battle cruiser and a bunch of carriers. We're never going to hold Johnston. Is 20 doing alright? Ah, they can hold. They'll survive. It's a bunch of battleships. Task Force 1. No, that's 28. Task Force 1. 19 knots. You send out another Catalina? Yep, as expected. Task Force 27 is probably going to get spotted. Task Force 1, what sort of range do you have? Because if the carrier has the range, it does have the range. I could send out a strike group to go after the carrier, but I doubt it'll be successful. That's why I need these guys. Jesus. Okay, Task Force 20 is engaging. We're assaulting Midway. North Carolina class battleship now available. Independence class carriers. Fletcher destroyer, oh very nice. Grumman TBF Avenger. Okay. Oh wow, we're starting to design an atom bomb. Okay, hold on. Hold on, what can I build? Here. San Diego. So I can get Fletchers now, huh? With radar. As opposed to these? I guess. Okay. That could be really handy. Also, we have... where is it? The Independence class aircraft carrier. It's a very small aircraft carrier in that sense. Advanced radar. 2 bombers, 2 torpedo bombers, and 3 fighters. That is all. And I can get the Portland, Northampton. Where's the North Carolina? Here. Speed 28 knots. See, now we're getting somewhere. This is something. This is a ship that can keep up with the fast carriers. 9 16-inch guns, torpedo belts, armored deck, local AA strength of 2. They cost me 460 and take me little under 4 months to build. But they're a whole lot better than those old Pennsylvanias that I'm using at the moment. Let alone the Colorados. Okay. Aurora's taking a bit of a beating. Let's see if I can wrap up this episode when I'm taking Midway. TF1. We have successfully occupied Midway. Excellent. That's what I wanted. Now, Midway is going to take a fair amount of time to repair. For the moment, take what you can, especially resupplying for fuel. The Marshal's doing the Marshal Port is being repaired. We still know that we have one carrier up, or sorry, 2 carriers up there and 3 down here. Here's a thought. I'm going to be doing this next episode, but I can switch the Catalinas to a bomber role. And I might get a strike in on JOHNSTON Atoll. Although they're still being protected by a carrier or 2. 3? Never mind that. Alright, well that's it for today. Not a lot of fleet action, but more preparing for further fleet action. We have a few more war bonds that I can spend, and I'll be looking into that next episode. For now, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Again, there are far more capable channels out here than mine. So, if you want to learn how to play the game from them, then have a look in the description down below. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon for the next episode.